Today we're heading to Wilds of Eldraine Standard to see if we can pull off the infamous Channel Fireball combo, but the 2023 edition. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. So today we're heading to our new Wilds of Eldraine Standard format to play a deck I'm really excited for. This is our last early access day deck, and it's Oops All Basics, Virtue of Strength, Channel Fireball combo ramp. I know the name's a little convoluted, but when we talk about what the deck's trying to do, it makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about our Oops All Basics deck, jump into some games, and see if we can maybe kill people with Channel Fireball style combos in 2023. So the key card of our deck, we're built around Virtue of Strength. Virtue of Strength, I thought this was like the worst of the Virtue cycle, but the more I thought about its ability, tripling our mana but only for basics, the more I realized the math on this card actually does some really exciting things. So there is a cost to playing Virtue of Strength, which is we really need our mana base to be all basic lands. Although really it's not a huge deal, especially for a green deck. We can play like Streets of New Capenna fetch lands to fix our mana, Field of Ruin can blow up a creature land and fix our mana. So even though we're playing literally all basic lands or these janky dual lands that get basic lands, our mana is very, very functional, and the reward for playing all basics is Virtue of Strength becomes a 2-card combo kill. So if you think about the math of Virtue of Strength, it costs 7 mana. So we cast it for 7 mana. That means we have 7 lands. That means the next turn when we untap, we are going to have at least 21 mana. We tap all 7 lands for 3 mana each, that's 21. And it turns out 21 mana is exactly the amount we need to combo kill our opponent on the spot with either Light Up the Night or Shivan Devastator, these red X spells. Light Up the Night, we just cast it X20, 20 damage to your face, Channel Fireball style kill. Shivan Devastator is a 20/20 flying haster, so if our opponent doesn't have a flying blocker, kills them on the spot. And that's the goal of the deck. Ramp into Virtue of Strength. The following turn have 21 mana at least, and kill our opponent on the spot with 1 massive X spell. And this might sound kind of slow. I mean, Virtue of Strength is 7 mana, but we can actually do this super quickly because our deck is full of ramp. So our fastest draw is we play Iron Crag on turn 2 into Invasion of Zendikar to double ramp on turn 3. That gives us enough mana to cast Virtue of Strength on turn 4, win the game on turn 5. Even a slower draw, we're probably casting Virtue on like turn 5, winning on turn 6. So all of this ramp really speeds up the process. The rest of the deck, we got some removal. Nahiri's Warcrafting, burn down the house to deal with our opponent's creatures. Chandra Hope's Beacon, actually really good in this deck. It's removal, it's also ramp, it's a backup plan. Sometimes we just like play Chandra, take it up for mana the following turn, double cast to Light Up the Night and burn our opponent out that way. Also worth mentioning, thanks to the adventure mode on Virtue of Strength, Chandra and Nahiri's Warcrafting also help us find our virtue. So Chandra's +1 finds an instant or sorcery. Nahiri's Warcrafting, excess damage, we can exile a card, play it. We're never gonna have the mana to like cast a 7 mana Virtue, but we can cast the 1 mana adventure side. Same with Chandra, like it can't find an enchantment, but it can find the 1 mana adventure side. So this can dig for a Virtue. We cast the adventure side, get back a fetch land or whatever, and then we have the enchantment side in exile as an adventure. So then we can cast it in combo off and win the game. So that is Oops All Basics, Virtue of Strength, Channel Fireball combo ramp. That's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see if we can Channel Fireball kill with a 7 mana enchantment in 2023. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. It is new standard time. We are playing the most basic deck in standard. Some Virtue Fireball combo. Basically Channel Fireball, the 2023 edition, but our channel's a 7 mana enchantment that makes us play all basic lands. This hand looks okay though. We got our Virtue, we got some ramp, we got the finishers. I mean, I feel like this deck could work. I feel like this deck might be sweet. We'll see. We'll see. Opponent playing rats. People love the idea of rats. I wonder if rats could actually be good in standard. We probably just need to play a red source. I'm wondering, we could like play the fetch land, get back the fetch land, but it might be better just to kill this rat. We don't really need to hold on to the Light Up the Night because we have the Shivan Devastator. So if we get to our Virtue, we have the combo kill. We just need 1. We need 1 finisher in hand. So, all right, opponent. What do you got, rats? Lord Skitter's Blessing. Sure. Gonna grow a rat, get in for 3. I mean, so we're under pressure, but not under that much pressure. Down to 17. This actually might be the nut draw now. So Topiary Stomper. So this is turn 3 Topiary Stomper. Turn 4 Invasion of Zendikar. Turn 5 Virtue. Turn 6 win. I think we live long enough now. That's the big deal. What do you got? What is the scariest thing rats can do? That's kind of the question for rats, is like, what's the payoff? You can make a lot of tokens. I guess maybe you just try to make a swarm of rats and go super wide, but Chromonics. I mean, Chromonics is kind of a payoff. Go for the toxic plan. All right, opponent grabs a couple rats. Can't block this turn, so we are getting some poison counters. Down to 14. Well, let's Invasion of Zendikar. I mean, triple mana is a powerful effect. It might be powerful enough that playing all basics is actually worth it. Plus, we have like the janky fetch lands and so forth, so we have some mana fixing. And the life gain's not bad. All right, so we go up to 7 mana. Turns on our Topiary Stomper, grab a land. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Let's see if we can flip our Invasion, or if our opponent chumps with Chromonics. I wouldn't mind Chromonics dying. I feel like the one way we could die is getting janked out by Toxic if they have like the Song of Tons or whatever it is that makes a million hasty rats. All right, opponent does chump. We're pretty okay with that. I mean, we don't even care about this. Yep, Topiary Stomper down, sure. I mean, basically, the way math works, our opponent has 2 turns to kill us. Next turn, we're gonna play our Virtue. The turn after that, we're gonna Fireball our opponent's face for about 1 million. Chromonics, does this change things? I don't think so. They can't Toxic us, right? We go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I think we're gonna be just fast enough. So we drop to 12. We could Adventure it first, but I think it doesn't really matter at this point. Either they kill us this turn, or we kill them next turn. Play the Courtyard, gain a life. All right, opponent. So how could they get us? I think if they have the Hasty Rat token maker to like make 5 Hasty Rats and they just poison us. That's the one thing I'm scared of here. But that card doesn't really work with Chromonics very well because it's not a rat, so we might be good. I mean, assuming we don't die, our opponent has a Fireball come into the face next turn. Can you rat us out? Hopefully they just like, yes, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Opponent's gonna build a board that can win in 2 turns. But little do they know, turn number 2 is not going to come. All right, so opponent, I mean, they have put an impressive number of rats on the battlefield, but rats don't like fire, apparently. I guess we can win in either way. Opponent's tapped out, so we can win with the dragon or with the fireball, which is spicier, which sends the bigger message. That's the question. That's an important question here. Opponent, yes, doing rat things, making more rats. I mean, I am impressed with rat's ability to flood the board here. I guess we haven't been interacting with them, but opponent hits us, poisons us. But I have bad news, opponent. We're gonna play a forest and dragon mode. Let's go dragon mode. Fireball mode. There's no Twitch chat to pull. Yeah, let's go fireball. I mean, that's kind of the gimmick, right? So fireball our opponent for 26. I was actually on the fence whether Field of Ruin was worth it in this deck or not. So we want every single land to be a basic for our combo to work. There is a chance you run into like mono red and they just don't have any targets. So running a green source is very nice. There's a chance you run into like mono red and Field of Ruin could get stuck as a non-basic. But there's also a lot of creature lands now. Ooh, opponent getting their ramp on. There's also a lot of creature lands now, so I think it might be worth it. What are we up to? Some sort of Root Royal Creep, right? Ramp and ramp. What are they ramping into? We're currently getting out-ramped, as embarrassing as that is. Topiary Stomper, grab a forest. Chandra could help. We'll see if it's fast enough. Well, there's a creature land, so we're gonna have a good Field of Ruin target at least. Steel Seraph, okay. And another Bramble Familiar. Well, opponent's down to 1 card. This might be all right. So we can play Field of Ruin. We can blow up the creature land. Grab a forest. And then do a little rampant. Return from the wilds. I think we just go creature token and ramp. Grab a mountain. All right. I mean, we're up to enough mana. We don't have our Virtue, though. So we really need this Chandra to hold. If Chandra can come down and, like, kill Steel Seraph and a Mana Dork, that would be pretty good. What we really need is burn down the house. Burn down the house. Burn down the house would be very bad for our opponent here. Well, we dropped to 13. Ooh, oh, that's not good. Okay, Storm the Festival. Yeah, this... Oh, it's a Panharmonicon deck. Okay, Elish Norn and some card draw. Well, that is a problem. Elish Norn has a big enough butt that we cannot Chandra it. And that also shuts down our Invasion of Zendikar. I don't know how we get out of this now. Yeah, that's an issue. Well, now I'm jealous that we're getting Panharmonicon. I guess we can just Chandra and like, we can take it up to try to get a spell for next turn, or we can take it up, let's double ramp. Like, I think our best bet at this point might be to try to win with Shivan Devastators. I don't know if that's realistic, but Shivan Devastator doesn't care about mom. Not a great son, that Shivan Devastator. Oh, come on now. Another one? Oh, that's so bad for us. Especially with Elish Norn out. Any random ETB thing. Oh, all right, another Panharmonicon and more ramp. And yeah, the problem is here they can fly in. This was not a very good Chandra. Well, go Shivan Devastators. Go. What we really need is just to top deck Virtue. If we top deck Virtue, we might be able to win. Another Bramble Familiar. Oh, these Invasion of Zendikars are so bad with Elish Norn out. Well, let's make an 8/8 flyer. The problem is they have this Steel Seraphs. Like, they can block and they can gain life, and they have 5 mana dorks, so they can actually just start flashing back Storm of the Festival. Storm of the Festival's going off here. Oh my god, that's from hand. Oh gee. Well, okay. We might have got a little unlucky too. Wow, that is a lot of turtling. I mean, our opponent did also just draw through 3 Storm of the Festivals, which is super scary. All right, so opponent does a bunch of ramping. I don't think our Shivan Devastators are going to be devastating enough here. Our opponent for the next 4 turns can just flashback Storm the Festivals with 2 Panharmonicons out. Yeah, well, Elish... Oh, no, that's more card draw too. Yeah, Woodland Acolyte. Woodland Acolyte is like one of the best Panharmonicon creatures. It's like so perfect for Panharmonicon decks. I do kind of love that card. It is the exact kind of value-y, dirtly stuff I love, although I'm not loving it right now because it is crushing us. Oh, so many Shivan Devastators, but just not enough to beat the Panharmonicons. We got to start attacking though, right? They do only have 1 flyer. If there's any way we can win, it's going to be like, well, actually, no, none of this matters because Werefox Bodyguard wrecks us. Wait, we're actually just dead. Oh god, now we're definitely dead. All right, so opponent gets to exile our whole board and then kill us. Well, Elish Norn, pretty good. Doing some super basic ramping here. Well, Carbetti Courtyard. Grab a mountain. Actually, it doesn't really matter what we grab. We have so much ramp in this hand, our mana's gonna be fine. That's one thing I like about this deck is play another fetch land. Even though we're playing all basics and the janky fetch lands, because we have all this green ramp, our mana is like always perfect. Very, very hard to get mana. Ooh, Charming Scoundrel. I feel like Charming Scoundrel is a really good card. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that one in Standard. Opponent discards, draws, pings for 1. Well, there's the Iron Crag, a little later than we were hoping. Well, let's grab a basic, make a 1/1. I also think Return of the Wilds is kind of sneaky good. 3 mana ramp's kind of janky, but 3 mana ramp that makes a chump blocker is a lot better. Here it's not even a chump blocker. We actually just straight up killed something. Spellbook Vendor. Opponents might be in trouble here unless they start drawing lands. So we get to play the Iron Crag. We get to play Invasion of Zendikar. We have much mana. And, well, now, I mean, our hand is kind of busted. Ooh, opponent does draw a land. Okay, so opponent is maybe going to play a little Magic this game. We just have like 3 times the mana they do. Extraction Specialist. Gets back the Charming Scoundrel. That's kind of a cute synergy. You can like loot it and then get it back. I don't know if it beats Chandra though, or a huge Shivan Devastator. All right, opponent loots again, hits us down to 19. We draw, ooh, light up. Things are looking even better. Chandra, definitely killing Spellbook Vendor and then just flipping the Invasion. That seems like the best play. Now we get a blocker. They can't attack with the Charming Scoundrel anyway. I mean, Wrath the board. Next turn, we get to play a big Shivan Devastator. Copy it, snipe ya, get in for 4. Well, I don't even know if we're gonna need the Virtue this game. This seems just like the super easy Chandra win. Opponent down to 16. I mean, we cast a pretty big Devastator, another Charming Scoundrel. I don't know if we literally win next turn. Wow, wicked roll this time, eh? Opponent with the ambitious attack. We gotta play with fire or something? Monstrous Rage, sure. Well, oh, I mean, we have all kinds of options. Let's take up for mana and double burn down the house token mode. And yeah, this is not going well for our opponent. Might as well blow up the creature land. We want a basic anyway. Get rid of this Field of Ruin in case we draw Virtue. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how our opponent gets out of this, honestly. Your go, friend. And reanimates the Extraction Specialist. Sure. Gets back the Spellbook Vendor. Sure. Well, now we can just devastate him, right? I think we can just devastate for lethal here. Play the land. Take up for mana. Shivan Devastator. X lethal. Yeah, I mean, that's just a hasty 10-10. Opponent. Dead. Yeah, sweet. Channel Fireball time. Virtue Fireball. Playing some all basic ramp. Grab land. This hand, we don't have our Virtue. Our sweetest games involve Virtue, but this hand's okay. I mean, we ramp into Chandra. Skrelv. Well, yeah, let's play the tap land. And grab a forest. Go. About it. Rona. So Esper Legends, maybe? Well, Topiary Stomper is a pretty good draw. That gives us something. I mean, we could have played a bad Shivan Devastator, but this gives us something we actually want to do this turn. We could still use the Virtue, although Chandra might be enough here. We can ramp with Invasion into Chandra into some real big Shivan Devastators. Opponent passes. Could have counters, but we can't really play around them, so how about an Invasion as end of card? Wow, okay. Maybe our opponent doesn't have counters. Mountain and Forest. And play the fetch land. Do we actually get to flip it too? That would be pretty good. The ramp plan in New Standard is pretty strong. Like, Ironcraig's a pretty big addition. Opponent taps it. Sure. This must be Hilda. Must be a Hilda deck. Hilda's a card I really want to make work, and I have not been able to make Hilda work. I tried it a little bit. It's real tough to play a 4-drop, untap with a 4-drop, have a tap spell, and have mana to use with the tap spell. You need several things to go right for Hilda to go off. I do like the Skrelv idea, though. Skrelv seems like a good way to protect Hilda. Ooh, okay, well... It is a Hilda deck. The tap spell kind of telegraphs it a bit. Like, when you see a random tap spell, why would you be playing that unless you're Hilding? Like, that's the only explanation. Well, there's the world's latest Ironcrag. How scared are we of Hilda? Do we need to kill Hilda? I don't know if any of that actually matters. Although, I guess this does make our... Wow, opponent just lets us flip. I guess this does make our Shivan Devastators kind of weaker, because they can potentially tap it down. What do we do with the Chandra? We can take it down, but it doesn't really matter because of Skrelv. So I guess we just tick for a spell. Get a Virtue and a burn down the house. We could Virtue back a land. It is nice. One of the sneaky aspects of this is Chandra actually finds Virtue, even though it's a spell, because we can cast the adventure side, for only 1 mana. So Chandra digging for Virtue is actually a very relevant synergy in this deck. Opponent. Normally Chandra can't find 7-mana enchantments, but adventure's kind of busted. Opponent loots away another Rona. Hilda is just such a cool design that I have a rooting interest in it succeeding, but I don't know if it's going to. I'm kind of skeptical that I've got to play it a little bit. Tap it. Draws a card. Now Hilda triggers. You gotta activate it, right? If you choose no, I'm gonna be so sad. Come on, Gab. There we go. Hilda. Counter on the team. Oh, okay, so the goal is to try to attack the Chandra. That makes sense. We could block if they don't Skrelv. I don't know, as long as Chandra's alive, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, just being alive is all that really matters here. Because double burn down the house seems pretty good. All right, so there's the protection. Chandra down to 1. We draw a forest. We kind of get to attack for free because all of our stuff has vigilance. So we might as well get in, hit ya. All right, horned lock whale. Sure. Opponent down to 14. Probably shouldn't have put that on the top, actually. That's okay. Oh, there's a light up tonight. Wait, is that death? Oh yeah, that's easily death because we haven't cast a spell yet. All right, well, not the full virtue combo, but double light up tonight. X9 twice, 18 ya. Oh, well fought, Hilda, well fought. That was a good battle. Virtue fireball time. Doing some super basic combo-y virtue ramp. Virtue might actually be good. I'm coming around. I was very harsh on green virtue during spoiler season, but it might actually be kind of sweet. Oh god. Oh dear. Aggro on the play with this hand. Like, this hand can ramp a bunch, but it does not block very well for a while. No, how about no 2-drop? No 2-drop? Oh no, this is very scary. Charming Scoundrel. Put the roll on it, grows a Hopeful Initiate. We take 4? Oh dear. There's not enough cheaty fetch lands to save us. This one life is not going to be enough. Yeah, okay. How about a tap land? Opponent, land. Adalene. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes your opponent just curves out, and we are so incredibly dead here. So we get to play Topiary Stomper. The only conceivable way we might survive is top decking Burn Down the House. If we top deck exactly Burn Down the House, maybe. Oh no, there's a creature land. Are we just dead? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, Godric. Okay, now we're definitely dead. Boros aggro. Might be a thing. That was actually super scary. It is fireball time. Doing some virtue all basic ramping. Sounds fine. I mean, no virtue. Where are their virtues? The deck's been working like it's winning, but we haven't been drawing virtues very much. All right. Riveteer's outlook. Grab a forest. I'm actually pretty amazed how well this mana base functions. The mana base, all basics, not an issue with these fetch lands. Grabby Courtyard. And the life gain's not bad. I mean, it's not really a huge draw, but it's something. Are they better than the original fetch lands because you gain a life? I mean, if you think about it, the original fetch lands, you have to pay a life. Why would you pay a life when you could just gain a life and do the same thing? Topiary Stomper. Opponent, are we countering? Apparently not. Let's grab a mountain. I mean, at this point, once we get like 3 green, 2 red. Okay, Grabby Giant. Making a treasure. That was not a card I had pegged as playable. I mean, I guess 2 mana make a treasure instant speed. Maybe it's better than I give it credit for. Does this make a treasure ramp up my Grabby Giant? You gotta do something more than Grabby Giant. Oh my god, it is. All right, well, yeah, I mean, that's the power of adventures. You make a treasure and then spend the treasure to play a Grabby Giant. And then we kill it and hopefully hit a land. Ooh, virtue. The 1 mana adventure mode of this virtue is actually really, really huge. It lets us find it way easier than you'd think. Like being able to find it off Nahiri's Warcrafting, find it off Chandra, that's actually a really, really, really big deal. And now we can probably do the thing. I mean, we're at 6 mana. We have the Fireball in hand. We got the Virtue in exile. Our opponent has a blue deck, so I guess they could counter. But if you're playing Grabby Giant, are you really countering things? I think if you're playing Grabby Giant, you've chosen a very different path than everyone else. Okay, passing. Yep. I don't know. If you're playing so many colors in Grabby Giant, is it possible that our opponent is not playing any basics? Grabby Giant seems kind of greedy. Could we actually get a strip mine in standard? Standard players know you got to play at least 1 or 2 basics, right? All right, let's fire it off. I mean, we want a basic anyway, so this is fine. Opponent's going to float a mana, sure. Wait, no. Wow, opponent is really all in on these Grabby Giants. Okay. Oh no. Oh, another one. No basics, but 3 Grabby Giants. Come on, play that Grabby Giant. Play that Grabby Giant. Show the power of the adventure mechanic. Well, this is a nice little TLDR for future standard. You really gotta play at least 1 or 2 basics. Oh my god, they are running out Grabby Giant, and they even cost him a life. Well, okay. Still a little concerned our opponent could have a counter, but I think we do run out the Virtue. Even if they counter the Virtue, I guess we can just start casting fireballs at our opponent's face. I mean, if this resolves our opponent's... Oh, God. All right, opponent. You might be grabbing a fireball at your face next turn. You're going to have to do something more than Grabby Giant to get out of this. As tempting as that adventure might be, opponent, tap... Wow, what a disastrous game for Grabby Giants. Get strip mine. So we have, what, 7, 8 lands next turn, so we can fireball for 23? Woodland Acolyte to get back the Grabby Giant on the top of their deck. Yeah, this might be my favorite deck yet. Just keep grabbing. Just keep grabbing. It'll work out. Well, as you are grabbing, we're just going to fireball for 18 at your face. Light up the night. Phone dies. Well, okay. Well, Virtuous Strength Fireball, pretty good against Grabby Giants at least. It is new standard time. Ooh, we actually have the Virtue in hand this game. We're playing the most basic deck in new standard, literally. Up a mountain. Play a forest, get down the Iron Crag. At some point, we're going to Virtue back a land, I think. Opponent, Sultai A. Oh god, the infamous Goyf deck. The infamous Goyf deck. Is Tarmogoyf good? Well, Urborg Lurgoyf good in 2023. Well, Topiary Stomper, Snake a Mountain. Pass the turn. I mean, we just have the combo kill, though. Opponent, Urborg Lurgoyf, kick it. All right, 2 mana, 5/6. Those are some beefy boys. I think we actually just make 1/1 chump blockers here. We just need to stall out for like 2 more turns and we win, right? Like next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn we can play Virtue, Cruel Somnophage, and Vile Spawn Spider. I mean, opponent is adding an absurd amount of power to the battlefield for almost no mana. Let's run out the Virtue. I guess the Devils give us lethal. I was going to say we don't quite have lethal because we only have 6 lands. So we can fireball for 18 for 18. Wow. I mean, opponents had an insane Goyf game. Look at how much power they have on the battlefield on turn 4. A 6/7, a 6/6, a 2/3, a 5/5, a 5/5. That's a lot of power. Unfortunately, Fireball don't care. Virtue too good. This is really it is the 2023 edition of Magic's first ever combo, right? No, are you looking at our Virtue? I saw a little hovering on our Virtue. If our opponent blows up our Virtue, we could be in trouble. Yield of Guine. Wow, it's not a basic. That's unfortunate. I guess we can wait one more. We can wait one more game, one more turn. Let's blow up the basic. See if we can get a strip mine. Do we have a strip mine? Did you learn to play basics, opponent? Do you have a Grabby Giant? No, my god, another one. What is it with people not playing basics? Standard players, seriously. TLDR, PSA, whatever. Play a basic, standard players. Do they have them? There's none in the graveyard either. I was going to give our opponent the benefit of the doubt that maybe they milled their basics. But no, they just didn't play them. All right, old stick fingers. Opponent goes attacking with their massive board. Tarmogoyf. Going off in 2023. We will block everything. And yeah, now our opponent's finally tapped out. So we will do a little fireballing. Ping, yeah. Opponent's got to be feeling good too. Like, oh, they only got 1 card in hand. Look at all this power we got. Tarmogoyf, Lurgoyf, Somnophage is finally good again. No, actually no. Instead, we will burn your face for 21 and kill ya. This hand's risky. This hand is great if we top deck a land. If we top deck 1 land, this hand is perfect. We are on the draw. I think we probably keep it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Opponent starts with the tap land. All right, we found a land. Well, play the courtyard. Do we just take forest? I guess we just go forest, forest, mountain, forest. Whatever, once we get to the Topiary Stompers, we should be fine. Opponent, a Beanstalk Worm, doing some ramping. I feel like Beanstalk Worm might actually be a good adventure. 2 mana extra land drop, and then you get, what, a 5/4? Neither side is, like, great, but, like, adventures are kind of like charms. Ooh, Decadent Dragon. Hopefully they steal a forest, right? Hopefully they steal a Virtue. Our opponent's mana base could not do anything with Virtue, I don't think. Topiary Stomper, grab a mountain. Well, now we're good. We're set up to do everything we want. Opponent, and here oh, that was, wow. Maybe Decadent Dragon's good. Is our opponent playing like a 1,000,000 color mana base just to support Decadent Dragon? That's going deep. Wow. Can we draw up Field of Ruin? I feel like this might be another player who does not believe in basics. The greediest standard players, my god. All right, well, grab a mountain, pass the turn. Could still use a Virtue. Questing Druid to draw some cards. Go for the Throat. Well, that's gonna go to waste. We can just avoid playing a creature. And plays the Questing Druid. Oh my god, that's a Virtue. Okay, well, that makes our choice very easy. We will play the Virtue. We will play Ready Courtyard. And there may or may not be a very large dragon attacking you next turn, opponent. Can you kill a Virtue? Do you have a way to kill an enchantment? Rebuild the city. All right, that's a lot of creature lands. Unfortunately for our opponent, though, we have a very, very big Shivan Devastator. I kind of love this deck. This deck is kind of hilarious. Opponent, how do you feel about a 26 Flying Haster? Got him. This is almost too easy. I don't think anything can be broken on early access day, and it doesn't count because it's early access day, but I will say this has worked a lot better than I would have expected it to work. And yeah, I mean, this looks like a hand that we would keep. Fetch land and a double ramp into Chandra. No Virtue, but we got time. We got time to find it. Chandra might be able to find it for us. Evolving Adaptation, sure. Mono green, maybe. Basic Forest, I don't know. We still haven't seen many green drops. I wonder if green can make a comeback with the new set. Another forest for our opponent. Bramble Familiar, getting their ramp on. I think this is the new best 2-mana Manadorkin standard. The flexibility of being able to dig for something big in the late game is nice. Wow, okay, we are actually just getting out-ramped. Invasion of Zendikar. Yeah, our opponent is just out-ramping us at the moment. And they hit it. Oh, God. Okay, well, Topiary Stomper return to the wilds. I guess, so if we return to the wilds, we can make the token, and that makes our opponent attack with their Mana Dork if they wanna flip the invasion. I think that's better than Stomper here. The upside of Stomper is we could try to flip next turn, but I don't think that's happening. Ozolith. Fight rigging. Okay. Well, this is getting a little frightening. We'll see what our opponent got under their fight rigging. Opponent, counter on the dork, goes attacking. Well, that's happening. Yeah, we might actually be in bad shape. Can we draw a Burn Down the House? Burn Down the House is the draw we need right here. That's a Chandra. This is an awkward turn now. We only get to do one thing. So we can like Warcrafting and hit a land. I guess we just got Invasion. Like, I think our hope is that we do something that we just combo kill, essentially. Like, we just go over the top. That we can, next turn we can like double Topiary Stomper. That puts some bodies on the battlefield. They can't fight rigging yet, hopefully. Okay, they're gonna bounce the Bramble Familiar. Oh, they can with the Ozolith. Ugh, I don't know why they bounced the Bramble Familiar, but okay. Fight rigging, what? Oh no! Oh god, okay. Now we're super dead. Weren't we dead right there? Couldn't our opponent have just ultimated Nissa? We only have 1 green mana up, that seems pretty safe. Well, instead, our opponent will make a massive plant, grow the dorks. I mean, we're still, yeah, we're still just dead. Is there even a point to playing things? We know the Nissa can ultimate. Pretty sure it was lethal last turn. Definitely lethal next turn. Yeah, GG. Yeah, I mean, we got fireballs, no Virtue, but we do have fireballs and ramps, so I think we keep this. What's our opponent up to? Do not see that one very much. And a Gumdrop Poisoner. Well, play the fetch land. Grab a forest. Abzan. So like Abzan food? We can't kill the Golgari and have mana for Topiary Stomper next turn. We have to choose one. I think we actually just kill the Golgari. We could draw a forest. We do have a lot of forests in our deck. That would be our best draw. Otherwise, we're still in okay shape. Opponent besiege you. Could this be another strip mine matchup? That can't keep happening. Standard players just can't let that. Ooh, Staff of Completion. Standard players just can't let that keep happening. Oh, maybe our opponent. Staff of Completion makes me think they're an Ashiok deck. That's one of the few cards that actually works with Ashiok in Standard. Well, let's play our fetch land, play the Iron Crag. We have not drawn many Iron Crags. I feel like Iron Crag's really good. We just never draw it. What are we doing? Opponent passes. Well, let's run out the invasion. Get a couple lands. Opponent's down to 15. Just because of their own deck. Maybe there's some way that we... Ooh, Wandering Emperor. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Makes a token. Well, we can make He's Warcrafting it. And so opponent's like Seeds of Hope. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Gets back a Phyrexian. They're like some sort of life gain, life loss deck. Phyrexian Arena, sure. And makes a dork, gains a life, back up to 12. We draw a mountain. Well, I think we get rid of Wandering Emperor. Take an invasion, I guess. Is there a world where we just... Our opponent spends enough life, we just get them naturally with this Light Up the Night? How much mana are we going to have here? Let's actually count this. So play the land. So we have 10 mana next turn? We have 10 mana now, 11 mana next turn. So we can Fireball for 10? Or Light Up the Night for 10? Come on, opponent. Spend 3 life somehow. LSL Core. Back up to 14. Come on, draw a card with that staff. Oh my... Oh no, they did. They did, main phase. They did. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can get a strip mine here. Do you have a basic? Oh my god, another one! Another one! Another one! I swear to God. When did Magic players become so greedy? When did they become so greedy? Every Field of Ruin has been a strip mine across like 3 or 4 different matchups. Oh, just so it's clear, as excited as I was about our opponent going to 10, they have food. So that's why we can't actually win this turn. We gotta wait. Because if we tried to Fireball for 10, they could just crack a food and response and go to 13. Next turn, we might be able to, though. Opponent's at 11 because of Phyrexian Arena. I can't believe we got another strip mine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So opponent needs to... We can burn for 12. Gumdrop Poisoner, sure. Opponents, this Thran portal is wrecking them. Gonna hit a... What are they doing with Golgari? They need to gain life. I don't know if they know they need to gain life, but they need to gain life, or else they get... They die to Light Up the Night. All right, opponent goes to 12. Makes a treasure. Oh, they chose wrong. They chose death. I think we have exactly enough mana and they're tapped out this turn so they can't crack the food. Wow, you should have gained life with that Golgari. What a wild match. Well, just how we drew it up. Just how we drew it up. Actually, very much not how we drew it up, but we'll take it. It is new Standard time. We are playing the most basic deck in the Standard format. Some Virtue, Fireball, all basic ramp. Apparently we're a strip mine deck. I am blown away by how many people are playing literally 0 basic lands. Our first Field of Ruin has strip mined 3 different players, I believe. Well, run out the Iron Crag. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Playing some 4 Mirrodin equipment. All right, Charming Scoundrel makes a treasure. Hits us down to 17. Well, we're going to do some ramping. Could really use a Virtue. We have everything we need in hand to get the combo kill if we can find the Virtue. Without the Virtue, we could just get Tangled Colony. We could just get run over here. Down to 13. Playing Invasion. We might have to light up the night something. I'm starting to get a little worried that we're about to die. If we kill the equipped creature, they can re-equip, but it does get rid of a 2/2. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Well, okay, kill that. Grabby Courtyard. Grab another basic. Opponent. So we're at 14. We're taking 4. I mean, we're not in that bad a shape. Beseech the Mirror. That's frightening. Devilish Valet. Okay. Spicy. Opponent. Swings for 5. Witch Talker's Frenzy on the colony. 5 rats. 32 power Devilish. Okay, that was actually sweet. I can't even get mad about that. That was actually a super sweet combo kill. I thought our deck was sweet, but our opponent has a pretty spicy plan of their own in that one. Now I might have to try to build that deck. That was actually, I was wondering what you do with Tangled Colony. That was a pretty sweet way to take advantage of it. Beseech the Mirror, Devilish Flay, 5 my own Tangled Colony, 32 ya. I mean, we still need a Virtue, right? We're still missing the Virtue, but minus the Virtue, this hand's great. Because we have Iron Crag. This is the fastest ramp in Standard now. Iron Crag on 2, Invasion of Zendikar on 3, 7 mana on turn 4, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, our dream ramp scenario, ooh, burn down the house. That's not a bad one to have in our back pocket. So our dream ramp scenario, turn 2 Iron Crag. Let's grab a couple basics. Turn 2 Iron Crag. Turn 3 Invasion of Zendikar to get to 7 mana. Turn 4 Virtue to triple our mana. Turn 5 21 mana, 24 mana. It doesn't double the Iron Crag, but a ridiculous, like, that's absurd. And that's in Standard. Oh, opponent's stopping. Wait, opponent's ramping too? What is our opponent doing? What are you doing, opponent? Forest. Do we just sweep here? They can't attack with the Stomper yet. We probably still do though, because we're not doing anything else. Yeah, let's reset. Riveteer's Outlook. Grab a forest. I appreciate our opponent has a basic land over there. One of the rare opponents today who actually has a basic land. Bramble Familiar, sure. Chandra's a pretty good draw. That is not a bad one. So let's play Chandra. Probably just tick for a spell. And Warcrafting, all right, sure. Actually, do we have enough mana to just win with Light Up the Night naturally with Chandra? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite. Actually, we can take... Oh my god, they're playing Virtuous Strength. But they have a non-basic opponent. You can't play non-basics in your Virtuous Strength deck. That's against the rules. This actually is exactly 20, isn't it? Because we get to take up Chandra for 2. Light Up the Night for 10? Double it with Chandra? Backup plan achieved. Backup plan achieved. 20 to the face. And, well, I guess we're the better Virtue of Strength deck. Trying to combo off with some Virtue Fireball action here. All basic Virtue Fireball action. Opponent says good game. Well, Iron Crag, go. This hand does not have our Virtue, unfortunately. Ooh. Welcome to the suite. Oh, okay. Just kidding. This hand does have a Virtue. Well, Top Fury Stomper. Grab a land. I mean, that's what we wanted to see. Now this might just be the nut draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we still need one more land. Bloated Contaminator. Well, there's a land too. Okay, this is actually just like fully the nut draw. Chandra. Take it down. Get rid of the Contaminator. Get rid of the token. I mean, and now we just untap, play Virtue, untap Shivan, Devastator you to death. Easy mode. Opponent. Tough Cookie. I do like Tough Cookie. I think Tough Cookie is really good. We're playing the Cookie deck, and the Cookie deck actually felt like one of the One of the best early access decks we played. Well, run out the Virtue. All right, Tough Cookie. You better do something big. Ginger Brew. Okay, that's not exactly big. Welcome the Sweet Tooth. Also not exactly big. Opponent goes beatdowns. Well, oh wait, we need a land, don't we? Oh, the fetch land. We gotta wait another turn. The fetch lands do not work. There's no point. I mean, we could run out Shivan Devastator for less than lethal. I don't think it's worth it, though. I think it's better to wait until we have lethal, especially now that we have the Stomper, too. Next turn, I think we can make a Shivan Devastator that's big enough that it's going to work even through our opponent, potentially gaining life with their foods, with their cookies. Well, all right. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 25 mana next turn. So we make a 25, 25. If we draw land 28, 28. Virtue of Strength's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, yes, there's a cost. You got to build around it. Triple mana that is not attached to a creature that dies to everything and has some additional early game upside. That's actually a pretty good card if you're willing to put in the brewing work. Opponent going to spend some mana to Ginger Brew us. Well, opponent, we also have hasty threats. Ours are slightly bigger, just a bit bigger than the Ginger Brew. How about a 24/24 Shivan Devastator? That's pretty nice. And opponent, do you have the green Fatal Push? No. And dead. And Virtue actually seems kind of ridiculous. So what did we learn this week about oops all basics in Wilds of Eldraine Standard? So record-wise, we did have a good record. We were like 11-7 with the deck, although it was early access day. I don't think the record really matters, so take that with a grain of salt. The good news is the deck felt very powerful. The plan actually worked, and we had a lot of hilarious kills where we just like ramp into Virtue of Strength and then light up the Nightya for 20 or Shivan Devastator you for 20. So the plan was actually pretty easy to execute. Sometimes you have like these ideas in your head, and when you try to play the deck, it just doesn't work out the way you think. This was not one of those decks. This is one of those decks where we had the plan, ramp into Virtue, triple mana, 1-card combo kill would light up the Night or Shivan Devastator, and it worked exactly how we hoped it would. The biggest challenge for the deck is definitely aggro. If you look at our losses, it mostly comes to decks that are just really fast, and our deck can get slow starts. Like if we have a turn 3 Topiary Stomper into like a turn 4 Invasion of Zendikar, if our opponent's on the plane just like curving out with humans into Adeline or whatever, we can just be too slow and be dead before Virtue of Strength even gets online. Although in like slower, grindier mid-range matchups, the plan is actually hilariously effective, in part because I don't think anyone sees it coming. Like no one expects to light up the Night for 20 the turn after Virtue of Strength. They're 20/20 Shivan Devastator. So we'll have to see how it lines up with like full standard. I do like that our deck pretty much completely blanks creature removal. Like, I guess getting the Shivan Devastator would be annoying, but other than that, like your cut downs and go for the throats aren't really gonna do anything against us. So we blank all that removal. We got this enchantment-y plan that most decks aren't gonna be able to interact with, so that is an upside. But we'll have to see how it lines up against the best decks in Wilds of Eldraine Standard, in full standard, in best of 3 standard. Gonna have to do some testing, but I will say for sure, Virtue of Strength, way better than I thought it would. I think there are decks out there that even with that basic land restriction that looks pretty harsh, but there are decks like this one, and I'm sure there's other ones as well, where the power of Virtue of Strength tripling your mana and the upside of that cheap adventure mode actually are going to make it worth it to pay that cost and play all basics in your deck. So anyway, that's Oops All Basics. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon.